So on this video, guys, we're going to be talking about T-Man performance being put on the big bore build here at Picture Harley-Davidson, and now let's get to it.
The Ornery One presents the Big Board Build Series here on YouTube, where we take a 2022 Harley-Davidson Road Dog Limited and build a touring performance bagger, which will be known as the Big Board.
I'm truly excited about this because you guys really don't know that we've been working on this for some time since we went down to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week. And I've actually been talking to Matt here about this here at Picture Harley-Davidson because you guys are following, you've been watching the Big Board Build Series here on YouTube. Like I said, here at Picture Harley-Davidson, and we're gonna be talking about some really cool performance parts from T-Man Performance. Let's kind of get into this. We'll break it down. I'm going to show you everything that we're fixing to bolt onto the big board build right now.
This stuff, I mean, we've got particular oil pressure gauge. If you have a Milwaukee 8, it doesn't give you an actual numerical reading of what your oil pressure is. It just says good or bad, essentially. That's a vital piece of information. Obviously, that's the lifeblood of the engine. So, really cool piece. What makes this different than a few other manufacturers that I've had to deal with? You typically have to modify or eliminate your mid-frame deflector. So this bracket brings it forward enough to kind of get it off your inner thigh too. I've noticed that when you put your legs down, sometimes it'll touch some of the other gauges that are a little farther back. So that's pretty nice. Bracket, first off, it's not stamped steel. You can notice that's a nice piece. And I like how the housing encloses the whole gauge, so that it's kind of not as unsightly sitting there on the side of the motorcycle.
Yeah, you know, Matt, that's one thing I noticed about T-Man Performance. They go the extra length to make everything sexy, make everything flow with your bike. And plus, it's a performance piece because it's growing up as gearheads and stuff. You know, you get them old rat rods or trucks, cars, hot rods, anything, you look at the gauges. Sure. And so when I walked up and looked at this, I really loved this. Now, I'm going to tell you a little something about this right here. This actually came off one of their bikes because they have been producing a lot, and everybody knows right now it's hard to get parts and get everything built. So they actually took this off one. It's actually
absconded it.
Yeah, they took it and sent it to me. But that was one of the pieces I was like, dude, I love that, so I could actually see an oil pressure. Now, what let me to T-Man Performance, this is kind of how it played out, Matt, is I'm running chrome work exhaust.
Sure.
We're gonna have amazing exhaust on the big bore. Actually, the first time we're gonna see this color. So I was talking with Chris and the crew there at Daytona at Bruce Rossmeyer's, and I was like, dude, I'm needing a breather pretty bad. I want something cool. I want something badass, and I want something that's my own, a little different, well built.
Functional.
Yes, and he's like, I know somebody, let's go. He actually took me over and introduced me to T-Man Performance. So the first thing that came to my mind that I was needing, and I want to talk about the very first thing, but I seen the oil pressure gauge the very first, actually walking around the corner. But like I said, we were talking about breathers. So Matt, we're going to kind of dive into their breather right here, and it's a no loss air filter.
Zero loss, yeah. They say that it'll make the same amount of horsepower with the filter element on or not, where usually there's a difference there from the restriction of the air filter. Yes,
so Brandon and I, we kind of conversated a little bit, and that's exactly what he was telling me about this piece here. And I'm really excited to see it. It just came in today. They've been busting their ass trying to get parts out. That's one thing I do want to tell you guys. When it comes to these parts, be a little patient. Be a little bit patient with them because these are handmade, really quality, US-made parts. I'm super proud of. So right here, I'm just gonna see it for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it's looking badass.
That is sharp.
So you guys can see, it's a massive, well-built air filter. Look at that thing, you can see it, right?
It's like jewelry. Look at all the machining.
I know it.
That's quality stuff.
God, and it feels like quality in your hand. Something really cool too, you guys know it's the big bore build. So they etched the big bore's mouth into the cover plate there. So you're actually looking down the big bore's throat.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yep. You can get that solid or with the window clear or smoked. They can do some custom stuff for you. If you have an air cleaner that already has the trim on it, that with the solid cover, that can still work. Man, that's sharp.
I know, I'm digging it so much.
High polished on the velocity stack there.
Yeah, and it comes in a different, you guys can go check out their website, and they have different finishes that you can pick from. So you can talk to them, and they'll put whatever you would like in there as long as it fits. And they can make it look really rad like they did here. Man, I'm so excited.
Gloss black, matte black, and polished.
I
Show
mean,
them now that you can interchange the inside.
Yeah, have at it there.
So what, I guess probably to me, one of the bigger differences between this, and you'll be able to see through the window there, this apparatus or velocity stack, typically when you build or when you buy a motorcycle, it comes OEM with a certain diameter throttle body, and then as you potentially grow the engine displacement up, you have to feed it more air. So what's trick about this is, in the past you buy a $300 air cleaner, you go bigger, you throw it away, and you buy another $300 or $500 air cleaner. This one you can interchange that component, so the filter is potentially a lifelong filter or air cleaner, so it can grow with you and kind of change as you need it.
Absolutely, and of course right here you can reuse these. Some of these filters you have to throw away.
Yep. Cleanable, reusable filter. Yep. Nice wide opening again to keep that flow.
Another thing too, I said we run in all weather all the time. So this is actually a sock that goes on there that covers that. So you can run that. They do have that as well. Of course, it's got the T-Man Performance logo on there. That's something else I was kind of, curious about, because like I said, Steph and I are in downpours all the damn time.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this on the bike. I have sat on bikes with this on. Now, guys, I do want to tell you guys, this ain't no joke. This ain't no little skimpy ass air breather you're going to get on there. So it is going to pull some air. It's well built. You guys can totally see, and you ought to feel it.
Yeah, right. It's solid.
Quality in the touch.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Yep.
God, I
when
love
you pick it up, you can feel the quality and the detail. Stainless hardware, and you'll see that throughout all this stuff. Polished stain, 12-point hardware. The attention to detail. It's just.
Yeah, let's talk about that right there.
We're breathing in. So now we've got to kind of help it breathing on the inside. This is a stock head breather, little plastic unit. I'm sure, at some point manufacturing costs and everything has to come into consideration. Otherwise, we'd have bikes that were hundreds of thousands of dollars if everything was inside the bike was this from manufacturing.
I know. But we looked at this earlier, and you got it out, Matt, and I picked up the equivalent to the stock to the T-Man once again.
Sure. Right.
Jesus, it's not even comparing apples to orange. I mean, this is apples to oranges. This ain't apple to apple. This is an amazing piece, and we're not going to see it.
Yeah.
But still,
little piece of jewelry hidden inside, but you'll feel all of these things will contribute and combine to a better breathing, better running, more efficient engine, longer lasting as a result. So essentially, what this does, it's a breather. Your piston's moving up and down in the cylinder, so obviously we're on the top of the piston, we're compressing, and that's the bang when it goes vroom. But below, that pressure has to vent out somewhere. So this is where essentially through passages and ports it comes off and it vents off into the rocker box. It has like a little one-way valve in there essentially. This is improved in that it's a gasketed material. It's not a glued or sonic welded piece that potentially it gets hot in there. Plastic is susceptible to heat, brittle, all that. And I'm certain that OEM designed and manufactured and thought about those things. But long-term longevity parts are made to fail essentially. Yeah. So you've got a piece of stainless with a reed valve in here. So as that pressure's come up, it vents off and then closes. Vents off and then closes. So that's what this does. It's like the blowhole of a whale, essentially. It's letting those pressures kind of vent off into the rocker box. Well, then downstream of that, you start getting that mist of oil caught. With our air cleaner, we'll have little breather ports that'll come off those breather bolts and come back to a catch can.
Okay. So what we're looking at here, which he showed me exactly what this is. Now, guys, I'll be honest with you. This will be the first time I've ever run with anything like this, and this is new to me.
Yeah, sure.
So
it's new to the industry, essentially. I mean, not race cars and things like that, where they're trying to keep those oils off of tracks and tires and things like that for safety. But that pressure, it has to go somewhere.
So this actually mounts back here behind our saddlebag.
Right.
And that hose, which we have a hose over here, I think it's got 3-foot hose. I think it's over here.
This
Matt.
is the second. This is going to come off of that
Okay.
forward, but there is from.
So this will route back to it.
Correct.
And we got some hoses here.
Hook onto here. And what you can't see, if we were to take this off, it looks like one of those little marble maze games. It just has passages.
Okay.
So basically that's to slow down that airspeed and allow those droplets of oil to collect, and then they all settle down here to the bottom, and this will catch all the oil. We've been venting it back there for a while, but under extreme long-term interstate, high RPM, heavy riding, heavy throttle, it is breathing, and essentially you get a mist. So it kind of, some people were got irritated with having to clean, I guess, the area. So this kind of solves that, and then periodically you'll just open the drain, little catch.
Okay.
Close it and clean it.
Okay. So it's just really helping longevity. It's helping
Faster
vent.
revving, less restriction on the engine. It's going to allow those pieces to move clearly.
So what I'm kind of thinking of here, Matt, well, this overall, we're always wanting the best for our motorcycle. I mean, we put a lot of money into it.
Right.
And these are some upgrades that we can do to make it last longer,
Yep.
have a better performance, and
Run
it'll keep
more
it
efficient.
and keep it more efficient.
Yep.
And by all of that too, like you were saying there, keep your bike cleaner.
Yeah.
We know how that is sometimes. I'm not so much of a clean freak. Picture of Harley Davidson cleans my bike or it don't get clean. But
That's two.
that is one of the things that we talk about, a lot of us, because we have some nice motorcycles and we want to keep our shit clean, man.
For sure.
I think this is going to add up to be a pretty good investment for the Ornery One on the big bore bike, because not only are we going to get all these upgrades, but we're dealing with a company that's top notch.
Sure.
Once again, everything that we're putting on the big bore build, all these parts and accessories are
Yep.
top notch. I've personally met these people, shook their hand,
Came
and
from
had
racing, been in the racing industry for decades. Even before that, grew up in his dad's, I think it was, race shop. So
Yeah.
great history, good people, quality stuff out of North Kakalaki, and made in America.
I tell you what, man, that tickled me to death, because I went over there and met them boys, and I knew right then, like, they're the real deal. Like, they knew the talk. They walked the walk. I went in to tell them what we were doing. Of course, they were like, "Do you want to build that bike up?" And I was like, "I'd like to, but we're going to stay in warranty, you
Sure.
know." But they have the means to absolutely hop a bike up.
Yeah.
They went over there and started it, and it's well mannered too. I got to tell you guys, they built some parts and put some bikes together that are unbelievable, but they're well mannered, and you can ride them across the parking lot.
Very streetable and not,
Yep.
Sure.
So if you guys are looking for performance parts, this is just what we're doing to the big bore right now. This is just the tip of the iceberg, what T-Man Performance can do for you and to your bike.
Head jobs, big,
That's what she
oversized
said.
displacement.
So they,
They can take your cylinders and machine them out, put their own sleeve, which has some cool stuff, a little longer skirt, better piston wear, good components. Check them out. Go
yeah.
online, watch some of the YouTube stuff. I mean, they've got good content. They just are motorcycle enthusiasts that like to help other motorcyclists, and
yeah, there are no like all their components. They're just unbelievable looking. But them boys, they're straightforward and to the point.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by their parts, they mean it when they do it.
yeah. My 20 Road Glide Limited more than likely is going to be
Yeah,
finding
man.
a few of these as well.
Yeah, so then that's what we're about. We're finding new things for us and talking about them. So guys, listen, we're going to put all these components on the bike tomorrow. So this is actually a Wednesday, and we do our build days on a Thursday. So we're going to take it back here to the shop, and Chris is going to put these on to the big bore. Then it's not going to be long until we're going to be starting it up for the first time. We're going to be putting it in a dyno machine, and we're going to show you guys, because we already did the video and show you the stock numbers from right out of the box. We're going to show everybody what our numbers are, staying in warranty, keep that in mind,
Sure.
but what numbers we come up with by putting all these great parts on this bike.
Yeah, should be a good percentage gain. Again, staying inside the warranty box, you've got coverage. That's a national thing. Any Harley-Davidson dealership, when you've got SWR coverage on a Harley-Davidson street legal part, that is parts and labor covered at any dealership. It's not like you have to go through this, well, let me call my dealer and they got to work something out. It's cut and dry. That's where, manufacturer's warranty comes into place.
Yeah, so Matt, if anybody's out there looking to, if you're in this area, we're in the Ozarks, Big Trail, Harley-Davidson, they can come to you. Absolutely. And you can tell them and explain anything right off.
100%.
Sitting down here on the showroom floor with them.
Every day.
And if you don't want to do that, if you're not local, yeah. If you guys would like to too, you can reach out to Team Man Performance. They're there to answer all the questions you have. They're super great people to deal with. Had so much fun. I'm learning so much from them. Matt, thanks for taking your time, man. You guys need any of this stuff, like I said, come talk to Matt here at Big Trail Harley-Davidson. We're in Rogers. They also have a remote store over there at Eureka Springs you can go check out too. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you did that. You hit that bell so you'll know when Steph releases a new video. And until we see you next time, y'all stay ornery.